Hello, BMHS. I'm Bobby.
And I'm Zeke, and this is the BMHS News.
We hope your March is off to a great start and you're staying healthy.
You know, Bobby, it's kind of funny to think about how COVID started last year in March.
Yeah, remember when we all thought it was just going to be an extra long spring break?
And then it turned into 3 months out of school, and we're still wearing masks.
Let's not think about the past. Instead, let's be thankful life is as normal as it could be.
You're right, Bobby. But there is one thing from last year that our news team never gave a proper ending to.
Are you talking about the Pathway promotional videos, or are you talking about the Shelby Taylor villain arc?
Well, Bobby, nobody really knew about the Shelby villain arc, even though our news team prepared it for a while.
Then it was ruined by COVID.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, let's take a look at the computer science pathway.
Hello. Today we're going to be talking to Miss Sullivan in hopes of getting a better understanding of the computer science pathway.
Hi, I'm Miss Sullivan and I teach in the computer science pathway. Well, for an 8th grader, you guys have already been introduced to computer science through Mr. Lisenby's app class. But as a freshman, you really need to enroll in digital literacy. That's going to give you strong computer skills and get you ready for the next course, which would be AP Computer Science Principles. So the computer science career pathway and then pursuing a degree in computer science opens up a wide range of jobs that you're eligible for. Anywhere from programming to working in a business field, and even the hardware components as far as, working with networks and cybersecurity. No, computer science has a lot more components to it. Programming is usually just a small focus. There is a business analytics type field where people work with banks to make sure your savings account is working properly. When you deposit and withdraw money, all those calculations are done correctly. But there's also, like I said, there's the hardware and the network components of it. Someone has to be there to make sure, for example, with the school, all the computers are connected to a network. So someone has to manage that network, and that is not a programming ideal. Definitely. I think that computer science is the way to go. The job market is in a continuous growth, so that means that even beyond this year and continuing on the next 20 years, there are going to be more and more jobs available in that field. So if you want a job in the computer science field, you're going to have open opportunities for it.
I hope you've learned a little bit more about the computer science pathway and are somewhat interested in joining. If you have any interest, please speak to Miss Sullivan or Miss Davis.
Computer science is pretty pimpin'.
That it is. And also, computer science is a great pathway and can lead you to a very profitable career later.
Zeke, you plan on getting a degree in computer science?
Yeah, I plan on going to school for cybersecurity.
I plan on going into school for ag technology, but computer science can be used for a lot of different things.
You can even use it right now. I saw Morgan and Kyler filming a kind of documentary about Devin, coding for FBLA.
Oh, Zeke, it's not just a documentary. Kyler and Morgan dove into the inner thoughts of Devin. Let's check it out.
What's Devin thinking about?
Oh, it's hot.
Hear me? Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's Hump Day.
Woo-hoo!
Incredible.
Truly, I don't know where to go from that.
Well, I do, Bobby. It's time for our next pathway promotional.
Let's take a look at the industrial maintenance pathway.
This week, BMHS, we talked to Mr. Kurtzinger about the industrial maintenance pathway.
Been teaching here for 2 years. I've got about 25 years of teaching experience in industry. A freshman shouldn't necessarily have a definite direction they're wanting to go. Most of these classes that I teach are going to be hands-on based classes. So if someone is looking for a career where they can use their hands, this might be a pretty good place to start. Most of the time I would recommend freshmen take, they need to take electrical principles, which is just basic electricity, so they can understand the basics of how things move or get moved. We do use other things other than motors for like mechanic class, but electrical, that's the basis for what most classes are. This class should be taken by anybody who wants to do anything around the home or around the shop. It doesn't have to be, it's not a guy kind of thing. This is anybody who's going to live on their own in their own place. They should learn how to fix the electrical things in their house, same as they would anything else.
I wanted to get credit so I could work towards becoming an electrician. Yes and no. I'm wanting to main in the engineering field, but I'm hoping that if I get credits in this, it will improve how give me more credibility in hopes of them hiring me.
I hope this has helped some of y'all learn more about the industrial maintenance path.
Wow, the industrial pathway seems great for anyone interested in being an electrician.
Mr. Kurtzinger is a great teacher from all I've heard, so I'm sure his teaching stay with you throughout the entirety of your career.
We still have more pathway explanations to get to from last year, but we'll get to those another time.
You know, Zeke, this time last year we would have been at a regional FBLA competition.
Unfortunately, this year, it's so different and confusing.
Thankfully, we had some of our reporters break down what FBLA competitions are this year. Let's take a look.
Like everything else this year, competition for FBLA looks a little bit different. Rather than traveling to the MSU campus and competing there, members will be competing from our school as well as submitting several projects to be judged. We're going to be talking to some members today about their events and what they're competing in.
This year I'm competing in the Intro to Business presentation. The topic this year is how social media can affect your future.
So, as a vice president of our FBLA chapter, one of my responsibilities is to make the local chapter annual business report every year. And that's one of the competitive events, and that's what I compete in. So basically what it is it's just a summary of all of our chapter events from the past year, from the competition of like the past year and all of the stuff that we did as a chapter this year. Some fundraising, fun activities, all that stuff that I've got to include. This is last year's. I'm still working on this year's right now, but like here's pictures from FBLA camp, from when we went to Fall Leadership Conference, just stuff like that I put on there, and it gets submitted and judged.
I'm competing in computer applications. It's where you do Google Docs, Sheets, slides, and all of the Google applications.
As treasurer of our FBLA chapter, my biggest responsibility is to make the scrapbook. And it starts from last year's competition and runs through this year's competition. So everything we've done in the last year goes into the scrapbook. I have our FBLA Creed in here, our FBLA Pledge, everything we've done as a chapter, fundraising, any event we went to, and any community service we've done goes into this scrapbook. And I submit it and it is judged.
I'm taking the sports and management test for FBLA. It's a 100-question test with a 60-minute timer.
Wish the best of luck to all the FBLA members getting ready to compete.
It's a shame to miss this year's events, but I'm proud to at least be able to compete.
Except for missing nationals at Disneyland.
Thanks, COVID.
Well, BMHS, that's all we have for you this week.
Stay healthy and stay safe.
And this is the BMHS News, signing off.